and to try to help somebody, and to also stand on the side that says it's not offensive to be a man that God called you to be. We ain't talking about being abusive. We not talking about aggression. We talking about there's a healthy way to be a man. There's a healthy way to be a woman. But you a protector, bro. You don't let nobody do that. You don't let somebody walk in your house today. Look, I'm just gonna be real with you. If somebody come in my house and knock on my door and try to sell us some special soap, my wife know I'm stepping in like, hold on, bro. What you talking about? Yeah, we do Pine Sol, bro. We not doing that. It's okay. So I first wanted to just point out there are some things that Adam did, but I'm gonna tell you maybe the coldest and the worst thing Adam did in this whole scenario to me. And he literally said, what did he say? Let's see. Verse 12. The man replied, "It was the woman you gave me who gave me the fruit and I ate it." Boy, oh boy. See, Adam, you can't be quiet, not play your role as a man, stuff get messed up, and then he blamed really God and Eve. He said, the woman you gave me. Like, he wanted God to know, like, yo, you gave me this girl. She came in here and gave me some fruit and I ate it. But God is like, now God didn't say this here, but how can I say? When you think through, like, but God called you to be a leader. He didn't, in that scenario, you were never supposed to follow. And I don't even think that's her fault, because you sat there quiet. Now, maybe it's her fault if you speak up and then she want to argue with you. Let the man speak and da-da-da. Y'all know how stuff go. It happens. We're all guilty to some capacity. It's okay. Let's talk about it honestly. I'm not trying to offend you, but I do know that people are offended by order. So I understand that just the simple order that God has in place for man and woman could offend some people. I should probably sip my tea, what's left of it. Perfect timing. All right, now let's go back, people, my good people. And let's see, what did Eve, where was Eve out of pocket, right? This is gonna be quick. It's not even that bad. Now, Eve, first things first, when the serpent is talking to you, right? In reality, you probably, like, this the first man and the first woman, y'all. Like, so they was new. They was brand new out the box. I get it. But you at least could have consulted with him to say, like, what do you think, right? Like, you could have maybe empowered him, right, a little bit. Like, hey, what you think about this? Because my man's saying something different than what God told us. Because it wasn't like Eve didn't know what God said, because the first thing she said was what God said, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, of course we may eat from the fruit of the trees in the garden. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden, right? So that was the order. That was part of the order of this situation. Is like, yo, we can eat the fruit freely. Just don't touch that one. And y'all know how life is. It's the one that we not supposed to touch that the light is shining bright. You just looking like, that fruit looks so good. Like, that fruit, it's like you got 50 trees over here, though, but that fruit right there that I'm not supposed to touch, that's the one that look good. I get it. I understand. But Eve, maybe you could have empowered him. Maybe you could have consulted him, right? But she was convinced. And I do think sometimes, man, just thinking about modern women, once you convinced and you feel something emotionally, it's like, let's put all logic aside. Let's not even think about what God said. I don't care what hey, I want some fruit today. This is what I feel like eating. I'm about to eat this fruit. And look, she saw that the tree was beautiful and it looked delicious. And look, come on, women. I know how y'all are. Like, that's when them emotions and them feelings come in. Like, yo, it's beautiful. It looked delicious. It seemed good to me. And she wanted the wisdom it would give her, right? And that's where Eve, to me, was coveting. Remember I said earlier, it's like we can find ourselves, we can go from admiration to idolizing, and then you covet. You want that, right? She wanted that wisdom in that tree. That's sinful. You want something that God told you to stay away from. All right. And then, so she took it and ate it. Then she gave it to her husband. I think he wrong for receiving it, but I think she just as wrong for like, yo, not only am I about to eat this fruit that look delicious and beautiful, and sometimes our sin is guided by what we want to the point that we will just open others up to it because misery loves company, maybe, or maybe just the foolishness of like, well, I'm convinced everybody has some. And that's the power of influence. And I think sometimes even women, even in marriage, don't realize how much influence they can have over their husband. Even though a husband is a leader, he's influenced by his wife. He loves his wife, right? And so there are some times where it's like you can have a man doing some junk he never thought he would ever want to do. Like, why am I skydiving right now? Well, because your wife is fine. She said if you skydive, you good with her. Okay, cool. So now we skydiving, right? So women, I think it's important for you to understand the influence that you can have over your man in the role that you play. And sometimes when you start indulging in the wrong thing, you might be bringing your whole family with you. You might be opening doors for other people to be introduced to sin without even knowing it because you're that influential, right? Cool. What I will say about Eve that I did like better than Adam was at least she said the serpent deceived me. So she's acknowledging that she was deceived, and that's why I ate it. I do appreciate that Eve did not just rat Adam out and blame him the way he did her. Let's see what Dre said. I believe Adam already told her what God said because she quotes a little bit more of the word, but got some of the. Okay, I'm not mad at that either, right? Those are those perspectives where, like I'm not gonna act like just my opinion or my thought about it is the truth, right? Because there's some possibilities because it's not actually mentioned there. So I think that's a cool perspective. But ultimately, I think the point of what I'm trying to say is like there's order in the roles that God called us to play as men and women, as husband and wives. And all of us at some point can be deceived and not play our roles properly. But I think it's important to get in your proper role in the way that God defined them, because when you get out of order, you open up this deception and you can start being deceived by things. And one of the craziest things about deception is that there's a period of time where you believe it. That's why you were deceived. Like you actually believed and were convinced of the wrong thing. And so I think it's important for us to try to hold each other up as husbands and wives, and we all make mistakes and fall short. I get it.